Hello, I'm Rick with Hearth and Home Air Conditioning, and today I'm going to discuss a few factors that are going to help determine the lifespan of your air conditioning system. One of the things that I do want to talk about is the construction of your AC unit. That's really important. So when looking for an air conditioning system, I would suggest you look for something that has basically a better construction. And when I say better construction, there's a few key things that you'll be looking for in purchasing that AC system. One of the things that I would suggest getting is an air conditioner that has what's called a louvered wrap. That's the actual physical wire housing, metal housing around the AC. Now, some of the manufacturers choose to use what's called a wire wrap, which is considered a basic budget value entry series. Now, some manufacturers choose to use what's called a metal wire wrap. Almost looks like a fence, like a chicken fence of sorts. It offers minimal protection to the coil. It also leaves the coil exposed to weed whackers, potentially children poking sticks in it. It's fully exposed to the sun, the UV rays, wind and rain, etc., etc. So while it does protect it somewhat, there's a lot better ways to protect that outdoor coil, and it's called a louvered wrap. So imagine a set of louvers like you would have like in a vertical blind pattern, and basically that goes ahead and that protects it far better, because that louvered wrap is going to reject some of those UV rays. It's going to help to reject some of that rain runoff, but it's going to far better protect it from those future incidents where you're going to have the gardener, the landscaper, children, flying objects, debris, toys, you name it. So that's one key thing that you're looking for in a better quality outdoor unit. Also want to make sure that manufacturer is also using quality components on the inside that made by reputable manufacturers. That's whether it's the contactors, capacitors, TXVs, all the internal workings of the AC, whether it be the indoor or the outdoor unit. You want to make sure that it was a quality built machine. And one of the points I'm going to cover again as relates to the longevity of your air conditioner is going to be the installation of the air conditioner to begin with. I mean, you could buy the best air conditioner that they make, and if you don't get a good quality install, the unit's just going to definitely have some issues, some service issues. It's going to underperform, and it potentially fail sooner than it needs to. The other thing too, when it comes to the longevity of your AC, is your location. Where do you live? Now we stop to think sometimes, we just assume that most ACs should last you 10 plus years. Unfortunately, that's not a given in here in Brevard County. As all of you will know, we have a lengthy coastline, and a lot of the houses that are on the coast, they're subject to, that seacoast water, that seacoast breeze. I mean, it's a beautiful place to live, beautiful views, but unfortunately, that corrosive environment, we're on the barrier island here. So not only do we have the ocean, we've got one river, we got another. So when you're located in those areas, and maybe your house is laid out a certain way, and your condensers, like it's on the east side wall or between the houses where it gets a lot of airflow, unfortunately, that air conditioner is probably not going to last as long as one that has been installed more inland or more protected. So those little factors come into play that are going to just help. It's essentially not help, I should say. A better word is going to help determine how long it's going to last. Unfortunately, the closer you are to the beach, your air conditioner is probably not going to last quite as long. Once it's installed, there's plenty that you can do, and that is basically have routine maintenance done to the AC. Make sure that you have somebody at least come out semi-annually, and the few things that we're going to take care of while we're there is we're going to rinse the coils, the outdoor coil especially, get some of that salt off of it. We're going to try to identify any deficiencies or any things that need attention before the unit fails. If we have some corroded wires rubbing together, excessive rust on the capacitor connections, etc., etc. So we're going to look at things like that. The indoor coil, the indoor unit, it fares better, even though it's beachside, it does fare better because it's not exposed to the outdoor elements. Again, we're going to suck out the drain line, we're going to rinse the coil, we're going to take amp readings, do a complete and thorough visual inspection of the unit, inspect the filters, etc. Double check your airflow on the system, and then these are a few things that we can do for your air conditioner to ensure that it's going to give you years of great service. So thank you for your time. I hope this article was helpful, and please subscribe to our blogs where we're going to continue to add some useful information as it relates to your cooling, heating, and AC system. Thank you again. I'm Rick with Hearth and Home.